True, man.
It's the realness.
So, this is gonna make you sad.
What is it? Oh, that's unfortunate. So when's she coming back, anyways?
Can we maybe not gloss over the fact that that Pyrrha turned Penny into quarters?
That she was tricked into doing it.
That's
She
true.
still sliced Penny into quarters.
Yeah, but it's not like she did it on purpose. I mean, come on, if you were facing down an illusion that terrifying, you would probably do the same.
Let's just think about what would be if Penny wasn't an animatronic and instead a living human being.
It's a good thing she wasn't.
It's true.
Yes, or else this series would be PG-18.
I sure.
But I have to admit, the scene where they struck down the big Grim, the Nevermore with the closets for the weapons.
Actually, no. I
that
think
was
Japan's
awesome.
more okay with violence than we think.
I mean, come on, man. Have you seen some of these anime? Bruh.
Have you seen Blood Sea? I mean, what? Wait, that doesn't exist.
That anime was terrible.
It doesn't
Yes,
exist.
it was.
Blood Plus was better.
It has Blood Sea had a pretty good opening.
Are you talking about the movie,
But,
the anime, or what?
All of Blood Plus was good.
I haven't watched Blood Plus, but Blood
It's
Sea
a pretty
was
good,
terrible.
pretty good anime. Not gonna lie.
Oh my god!
That's not kosher.
Wait, really?
What? Really what?
It was at this moment that Val realized he ran out of space on his hard drive.
No, I doubt that.
Yeah, you probably got like a 10 terabyte over there, don't you, motherfucker?
Nah, but I am. But soon I will be able to
All
switch
right.
them out on demand.
What I'm about to post is terrible, and I'm sorry about this. But I'm not
I
sorry.
saw Lord Frieza in hell.
Oh, yeah. Yep. This is, scenes without context of what's happening.
Hey, I could clap to that.
I love that gif so much.
God
You
damn
want-
it, Japan. God.
You could say this was for Little Bitch Academia.
You could. I love that gif so much, though, because you don't know what's going on. Just like, why? Why is this a thing?
Anyways, I... Anyways, Val, just say when we're, recording.
Oh no, that's what the thumbs up image was supposed to signify.
Where's the fucking thumbs up image? I didn't see it.
Oh, I've been
So,
recording.
you should look how Patty is looking at Blair in this gift, by the way.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, I thought that was just a random picture.
Yeah, because we post random pictures all the time.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Just look how Patty's looking at Blair.
I see her. She's just like, oh, wow.
She's like,
Everybody else is like, oh, wow.
Hers are
Yeah,
even
Pat.
bigger than mine.
that's probably what Patty's thinking.
That is fucking terrible. What the fuck? And it gets caught in the hair. Yep.
That reminds me of what they told me in machining class.
Oh, she's got a bald spot.
Could have ended up worse.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. What were they thinking?
Yeah, why
Oh
would
my God.
Asians use power tools? It always works badly in these images.
Oh my god, shut up.
Oh.
Shut up.
Oh, some fucker knocked out his front teeth with that technique.
And I know what he wants for Christmas.
New front teeth or new power drill?
Obviously, a new power drill, man.
This
Anyways,
is from God Eater.
Yep.
Anyways, let's get started.
Yes.
Without further ado.
I thought about my second type of magic that I developed, that we discussed, Light, and I have an even better idea.
What's that?
You will see as we go.
Spawn
So
crack
did
the
I, speaking of that, did I explain that well enough or not?
Explain what?
The, thing I did.
I
And
don't.
EXP and stat mechanics.
Oh. Yeah, it's fine. Anyways,
Okay.
So I'm just reading here real quick to see where we left off.
I still have 5 experience I could use, but I'm not using it yet.
Oh,
Where did we leave off?
yeah, I'm just reading where we left off. Okay, so we're gonna start directly after Escalon and the Machine made their deal with one another. So, Machine, you clasp hands with Escalon, and all of a sudden, just your senses are just completely overwhelmed by this new sort of just perception coming to you. You look towards your comrades and towards the people around you, and you see this sort of almost like smoke rising off of them, encasing their bodies and just blowing away on the wind. You notice that each person seems to have a unique sort of property and unique sort of properties to this sort of smoke. Different sort of scents and colors and feelings just sort of emanating from it.
What does mine look like?
You look down. Well, what does yours look like?
Well, what does theirs look like more specifically first, then?
Okay. You notice. I'll let Cedric and Elena describe theirs, and then I'll describe somebody. Go ahead. What do yours look like, Cedric, Elena?
If I would guess, I would say mine looks like this sort of vapor that comes off liquid nitrogen. You know what I mean?
All right.
What does what look like?
Pretty heavy and snow white. Just falling down on me.
What does what look like?
Well,
Sorry about that.
you didn't listen, did you, Val?
I did. I heard something about mist.
Yeah, basically, Val sees smoke emanating from us, and we were to describe how it looks. I said,
Oh.
I sort of disperse a heavy white smoke that looks like the vapor that comes off liquid nitrogen.
Does it feel as like? Does it have like a sort of cold to it? Almost.
Not really. Almost the opposite.
Interesting. What about you, Elena?
Elena's aura thingy looks like it looks like intense it looks like an intense aura of flame a little bit, but the color spectrums are they kind of switch between red to white and occasionally just become clear.
50 Shades of Red.
Yeah. Like it looks like it'd be extremely hot, but it's just this kind of radiant fire-like aura.
All right. And the last person in your immediate area you notice, Escalon, his aura is just a straight, just sort of like blackish color with red sort of mixed in there. You also notice that his is significantly larger than any of the other people in the area.
Okay.
Just sort of like dwarves them, almost.
Okay, now I'm gonna describe mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like it's almost colorless and white, but then you realize there's like a teal to it. It smells sweet, and it's just almost like it's not there. But it's there. Just hard to notice.
We all see the smoke, or just
Just the machine.
Well, technically, it should also be the other guy, too, right?
Yeah, Escalon would see it, but he really doesn't have a reason to, like, comment on it.
Well, he could.
He is going to say something, though. He explains to you, power I've granted you is known as a tinge. It's reflective of your desires. The more that you used it, the more powerful it becomes. But you should be careful when using this power, lest it consumes you.
Othello doesn't know why, but he gets the weirdest deja vu out of nowhere.
Yeah, so does Nina. It's like she had a past life or something related to this.
Alright, okay, motherfuckers. Alright.
I don't know, that name sounds kind of lame, doesn't it?
What?
Tinged.
Oh, trust me. Once you use it, you won't care about names.
Oh, I mean character still talking.
Oh, okay, god damn it. Upon hearing this, Escalon sort of just scoffs at that. Names are of little importance. All that matters is what you can do with this power.
So that is what you will feel like once you start using it.
And what can I do?
All manner of things. This power, this aura around you, you can mold it, shape it, do incredible things that others would consider unnatural. For instance, he
I just want
backs,
to... Sorry.
he backs away a few feet, Escalon does. And Val, you notice that the aura around him just sort of like coalesces into it's like a film around its body. And he says to you, shoot.
Do what?
Shoot. With your weapon.
Really?
Yes.
You're sure about this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Pulls out a revolver. Spins it around a few times just to show off.
My name's Revolver Ocelot.
Meow!
You're pretty good, kid.
Don't you love that part where he meows in Metal Gear 3? That was awesome.
Okay, back on.
Yeah,
Back
he
on
does
the
that, cocks it, aims. He just goes for the knee. Pulls.
Is that right?
Mhm.
I posted an image in there that's it's gonna be like when he starts using it.
Okay. So, anyways, you fire, or Escalon to just crumple to the ground, perhaps make a joke about taking a bullet to the knee, but alas, that does not happen. Instead, you hear just the bullet just whine as it sort of like just grinds against a surface, and you see it impact against his knee, and then the motion just stops after a while, and the bullet just drops to the ground.
Oh well, that's just a bullet.
Someone never skipped leg day.
There's also this, and he outstretches his hand, and you see the aura just shoot off of his body, and it just wraps around you, Val, and it just forces your arms right to your side. And you can feel it almost like crushing you in its grasp. How do you react to this?
There's only really one way to react to this. I start freaking out and say I want off Mr. Bones' wild ride.
Alright, he releases you. he releases you. Along with many other tricks, these are just a few of the things that you can do.
Alright, so... when do the hallucinations stop?
Hallucinations. Oh, you mean... I'm afraid that is something you'll have to learn to filter out.
Oh. That's permanent.
As long as I'm around, anyways.
Oh, so you're causing it?
It's through my power that you have been granted these abilities. If I were to disappear, then it would seem that they would go along with me. One second, guys. I have a visitor, apparently.
By the way, Val,
Yeah, just because he stepped away, that doesn't mean he can't hear you.
Val, did you watch the movie The Perfume?
No.
Basically, the movie begins with a child being born.
Okay, I'm back.
As a lot of movies start.
I was just... the movie did start by this baby being born, and this birth helper, you know, these women, she didn't want to hold it because humans have a natural odor, babies have an odor, and every person has a personalized odor. But this child, it didn't have an odor. I would suggest, if you could use this tinge to make yourself odorless, for example, if you want to trick an animal.
Oh, I wouldn't
and
make
other
myself
people
odorless.
notice this, and other people notice this, they would probably be weirded out because of this missing smell.
Also, people don't have smells, man.
Oh, we do.
Nah.
Interestingly, our view of people changes this smell. People who you like smell better from the outset, whereas people you dislike kind of smell bad to you.
Weird. So,
Anyways,
so you're telling me the reason why I
Anyways.
don't care about anyone is because I can't smell?
clearly.
Ah,
Yes.
It would take too much time going into detail with this. Let's just continue.
Okay. Continuing on. Wow. About this time, B, she walks up to the group, and she says to you, hey, you guys, the chief wanted to see you again.
B, can I show you something first?
What's that?
I was kinda trying around with this newfound power of mine, and I discovered something I wanted you to see because I do not understand it clearly, and maybe you could help. So Othello walks up to a tree, lifts a palm, holds it sideways, and channels energy into his hand, and you know what's coming now.
All right, go ahead and describe it.
You don't see pretty much, and he basically makes this cutting motion with the palm of his hand, and he looks a bit exhausted. And Light, since we didn't get to discuss this thoroughly, you decide how much damage is done to the tree.
You slice cleanly through its bark, but not enough to cut the whole tree down. Just to cut into it a good ways, and you can see smoke rising from within it.
I just realized you could probably do death by 1,000 cuts.
Did he say that in character?
Sure.
Sure.
He looks at him, looking like he just put on a 50-meter sprint. I don't think I can pull off 5 of those.
Oh, I see. Because you're, don't take this the wrong way. You're kind of bad at this. You can't you can't really control the energy too well yet. So you just release it as it is, just straight out, instead of making it into one of the elements. It's just pure energy.
That's interesting.
Elena watches this, and she kind of sighs and picks up I guess she picks up... Yeah, she picks up, she picks up a leaf, right?
Yeah.
And she's gonna use her fire to burn it, because she has clear fire. Those are skills that I put in.
Alright.
And it's just gonna, it's gonna look like it's there, and there's gonna be a brief moment of intense heat, and then it's just gonna fucking, it's going to just disappear, essentially.
Yeah, stop bragging. We trained you.
Anyways, guys, the chief really wanted to see you for a moment. If you could, follow me.
Yeah. Okay. I follow, and I wanted to ask her something. So I
ask as they're walking.
You were, said I was releasing pure energy.
Yep, pure energy. That's right.
Is it possible, just as a quick mind play of mine, is it possible to basically act like a battery for others?
What do you mean exactly?
Basically channeling energy into another person.
Maybe, but it would be kind of dangerous to do something like that.
Hey, can you, steal it from others?
Do you ask that?
Yeah. Stop asking if I ask that.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell with this group, to be fair.
Yeah, we should start doing voices eventually.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, she looks to you, Val, and just sort of narrows her eyes at you. We don't talk about such things.
So it can be done.
Were to do such. Well, if we found out about it, it wouldn't end well for you.
So even with the gift, forbidden arts exist. Okay.
So where is
There's
it
nothing
told that this should be
more.
forbidden?
It's just one of the things that we don't do. I mean, surely you have taboos up in Skalander still, right?
No. Well, not where I'm from. I'm sure they do.
Well, it's like that. It's not something that's written into law per se, but it may as well be.
It's just a matter of morale at this point.
Anyways, you arrive into the chief's hut, and he looks towards you and he waves you forward and asks, and B translates, he wants you to take a seat for a moment.
Othello happily obliges.
Alright.
Wait, what'd you say? You cut out for me.
Oh, he's asking you to take a seat.
Okay, I Slav squat.
You do what?
Slav squat. Haven't you seen it?
Oh, no, I just didn't hear what you said. I'm like, what?
Oh, okay.
He said he takes a squat.
Yeah, I got you. I heard now. Anyways.
True Slav.
Anyways, you take your seats, and he begins to speak. He translates. He says that if we're going to fight in this war, that we should seek out the ancients' help. And that you should go and find them and explain what's going on.
And you think they will help us willingly?
He thinks for a moment, and after, he translates, and replies, he doesn't know how the ancients will react, but he does know that they care for the weirds, and that if one were to make the case that we were in danger from this war, there's a good chance they would help us.
I can only make promises for the Gigaians. Whatever the Farsonians will do is out of my mind.
Oh, we're gonna kill them all anyway.
Maybe there's another way to this. You don't answer. I mean, the Weirds already suffered a genocide. You think they will be up for one?
He replies, all that we care about is that peace is established. We're not looking for some genocide or vengeance. We just want for bloodshed to stop.
Elena shakes her head. We don't have to kill all of them.
Okay, well then just all the communists.
Can someone explain to me why it was a good thought to get him out of prison?
To speak again and say, so, how would we find the ancients? Do they have a place where they gather, or?
They do. In the center of the great desert, there is a sanctuary. They dwell.
Why do we need them again?
Occasionally, one of us go out there in times of great need, and we will seek their help. But it is needless to say, a dangerous journey to make your way out there.
Oh shit. Fuck.
Welcome back, Val.
No idea what just happened.
I know what happened. You disconnected.
No.
That's true.
No. The internet was working fine, and it kept disconnecting and reconnecting me.
Dude, your internet just hates you. What ISP do you have?
Oh, this wasn't internet-based at all.
Oh, it's
Discord.
Discord?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then it pushed,
That's weird.
and then when I restarted, it updated.
Huh?
So there.
That's a terrible time for an update.
Yeah. Well, no, I disconnected Discord, and then Discord wanted to update. Turned it off. Yeah, because what you do whenever something doesn't work is you turn it off and back on again.
Alright. As you're sitting there, the chief says, if you came from Skalander, that means that you must have a ship, right? One of those flying machines?
Yes,
You
we
could
do.
you could use that to reach the center in no time.
Why?
I look up. I look at him and I say, "Speaking of which, where are the people who were by the ship?"
Yeah, we only need one of them.
The one with the injured leg, he is recovering still. It burned him quite badly, but he is in good hands. The pilot and the guard that was with you, they're a bit more skittish around these people. They've seemed to have just been minding their own business, not really interacting very much. I guess they're just keeping their heads down, waiting for the next move.
By the way, what is this Escalanda place you keep talking about?
What? What's going on?
Yeah, what is this Escalanda place you keep talking about?
Sklander, it's the upper
Sklander.
world, you buffoon.
Oh. Really?
Sklan. Yeah,
Yes, it's Farso, the wetlands, Gigayas, everything.
Huh.
it's
Jeez, not even basic education. Don't they teach you anything?
No, they just teach us how to mine ore and die. I wasn't too good at school.
Don't take this the wrong way, but in my mind this is a waste of human time.
You gotta be more specific.
Just forget it. So we need to find the ancients. Any idea where we could look first?
as I said, the center of the Great Desert. That's where you'll find them.
All of them or just one?
Depends on who's there.
Shit.
Some of them might be away.
If we meet this big ass Thunderbird again, I'm gonna give him a huge thanks for keeping us from being shot down.
Ascalon interjects this time. We should waste no more time on talk. Let's find the pilot and see if he's made any progress on repairing the ship.
I nod and I say, "You guys go find the pilot. I'm gonna see if I can get some supplies for us."
Alright.
One question though, Chieftain. How is your ammo storage? You have enough?
We've acquired, and B sort of like lingers on that word for a moment, many supplies over the years from the various different parties that make their way down to Skalander.
Ah, so you've been looting
Basically,
corpses.
Yes, they probably looted the corpses of those who came to hurt them.
Oh, I meant just those who fall down. You've never thrown anyone down here?
Yeah, but I think a rifle that fell all the way from Sklander down here wouldn't be in any operating condition.
You'd be surprised.
Anyways, 1 second.
I mean, these things can just take, bullets and still work.
Anyways, Escalon, he gestures for you. Othello, let's go and find our pilot.
Okay.
You two, see about any supplies you can find.
Me?
I would imagine, yes. Alright, so Othello, you look through the village, and you find the pilot and Wilhelm. They seem to just be sticking around the shack they initially came in on. Some more, niceties have been provided. They have a table, a couple of chairs now. And the pilot, he sees you walking up, he's like, he just looks at you for a moment.
Attention, soldier!
He just stares. What happened to you?
No time for talk, report!
What do you need to report on, sir?
What is the condition of the ship? Did you make any progress in repairing?
Well, I did what I could. I fixed the elevators of the ship, so it can send, but we have a bigger problem.
Spit it out already.
The core, the modrite core of the ship, is fractured. We can't use it as an energy source anymore. We'll have to find a new core if we want to get the ship airborne. But
right now.
I wish I was captain, but we just took too big of a blow last time we were up there. But there's good news, though. At least we're not in some place like the wetlands. I mean, there's plenty of modrite in the underworld, right? Is this stuff supposed to be everywhere?
Do you see any mining equipment here?
Well, no, but I mean...
Anyone who is proficient in gem cutting?
For some reason, you remember that quote that my character told you just like 5 minutes ago.
What was
it again?
In school, they only taught you how to mine ore and die.
I was talking about mining equipment, not mining personnel.
I thought you said how to mine.
You need no...
Alright.
You don't need equipment. You just gotta... Oh, 1 second. Actually, Matt is online. Let's see.
Oh, I thought he dropped out.
No, it was just a misunderstanding.
Hey, Cedric.
Hmm?
Look at that gif.
Anyways, we will we'll continue until he gets back to me. The pilot, he continues on. Well, I'm sure that the Weirds have someone, right? I mean, come on. Don't they, like, worship the stuff?
You didn't have much contact with them, had you?
It wasn't my job to have contact with them.
Yeah.
Just flew the ship.
Well, I was hoping that you had maybe... It's not like this is your first airship flight.
No, of course not. Flown
I was
many
thinking
times.
maybe you were down here before. No?
I've been occasionally on excursions down here, but like I said, all I did was bring the ship in, drop people off. That's it. Occasionally, we would pick up a shipment of trade goods, ore and lumber and that sort of thing, but that's about the extent of it.
If we get you a new core, can you fly us into the desert?
Well, sure, I would need some time to, repair it in the ship, though. But yeah, I'd
How
be able
much?
to do that. About half a day.
I will see to it that you will get the core and the manpower to get it done, and let's see if you can't push that down to 8 hours. And I would turn around to leave the tent without another word or an explanation why I am basically looking like a living Christmas tree.
All right. So we'll switch over to Elena and the machine real quick. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask B if... Yeah, am I still in the same tent with B and the chieftain?
Yes, that's correct.
I look to B and I say, do you have any supplies we could take with us into the desert?
Yeah, what do you need?
Water. Probably some food.
Yeah, we can give you some provisions, but there is a catch. The water down here, as is heavily contaminated with modrite. Anybody in your party who's not accustomed to it runs the risk of,
I nod. I ask another question. Is it possible to remove the madrite from the water by some process?
It's a possibility, yes. You might do well to go and find a friend of mine. Name is Pho. He specializes in water, so he might be able to help you out.
Okay.
Is the food also a bit contaminated with madrite? I'm guessing you get it from the wildlife here.
That's correct. We do. It depends. The meat is more heavily contaminated than plants, but it's not nearly as bad as the water.
Hey, do you have a list of what is and isn't okay to eat here?
Yeah, we can get you a list.
Okay, good. I'll go hunting.
Real quick, B just grabs a sort of I'm trying to think here. It's like a scroll almost. He begins to just jot down some stuff with a quill and ink, and these are the most common things to look out for. Things you can eat and things to avoid. And she gives you the scroll.
I imagine also anything that glows, probably, right?
Some of the glowing stuff is edible. But again, if you're not accustomed to modrite, then it's best to avoid it. But yeah, I can go and I can introduce you to Pho, if you'd like.
I know how to get that. That'd be nice.
Okay. Follow me. And he guides you, and you go for a while, and eventually you arrive at a fast-moving river. You can hear the water just rushing downstream, just lapping over the rocks, and you see a man just sort of eased back against a tree, just sort of almost like napping there, it seems. B walks over, and he sort of like jolts away. Yeah. And she sort of begins to speak, and he looks at her, and then he looks at you. It's like, oh, okay. He says that he's never had any reason to try and remove Modrite from the water, but that it should
Bailey.
be possible in theory.
I asked another question. What could we do with the removed Modrite? Could we use it for something?
Well, it would mostly be broken up pieces. But Modrite is Modrite. You can always find a use for it.
I nod. I say, how would we go about doing this then?
He goes over to the river, and he brings a container at his side. And he, lets the water flow into it. And then he begins to, like, concentrate really hard. And you see the water begin to flow upward out of the flask and sort of, like, coalesce into a ball in midair. He then... He looks to you and he's like, do you have a container on you? Anything to hold water with?
I look over to the machine. I'm like, you have vials and containers, don't you?
Is he there? Hey, machine. I think you're muted, Stu. Still. Oh, he's AFK. Okay.
Oh, damn it.
We'll just say he does. He does, and he brings out a little vial, and you store some of the water in it, and he tosses the rest back into the river. He then looks inside of the flask, and he's like, and he shows it to you, Elena. And inside the flask, you can see slivers and grains of the Modrite down in it. He sort of empties it out into your hand, in fact.
How much of it is there?
A good bit. It's like a small heap of sand, almost, if you can imagine.
Wouldn't she have like a thing to hold water on her?
Probably, yeah.
I'm gonna say the water is put in there.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
How much would that weigh?
It doesn't weigh anything. You're just holding it on your side.
Alright.
And yeah, you have like a small heap of this Modrite sand and stuff in your hands.
I look at it. So, do you think this could be crafted into jewelry or some form?
B considers your question for a moment. Well, you might be able to, but you'd have to find a way to compress it and, sort of recombine it together. Maybe you could melt it into something first, and then cast it. That might work. What did you have in mind?
Oh, I wanted to give Othello a little present, at least. Something to help him out. I understand the ring I use helps me use it more effectively.
Oh, are you two getting married? I don't know if Chief will approve.
I look at her, just straight in the face.
She just sort of has this, like, devious smile on her face.
I just look at her straight in the face, I'm like, no.
Oh, come on, I see the way you look at him.
Oh, you mean how I want to kill him half the time? I suppose.
Isn't that how a husband and wife look at one another half the time? Like they want to kill each other?
That's what I've heard.
I wouldn't know. I never got married.
I can't say I've ever been married or had any kind of romantic interest in anyone, so.
Just so you know, I am joking. I would just want to make that clear. I am being completely sarcastic here.
Oh, I know.
But, yeah, you might be able to do something with that. Anyways, we should get headed back to the village after you know, get enough water here. I'm sure Fa would be glad to help you.
What about food?
We store our food in the village. So, we can just give you some from there.
Alright. Say, I looked to Fa and I said, could you teach me how to do that?
He looks at you for a moment. He shrugs, nods his head. Alright, the first thing he does is he lifts another globe of water from the river itself this time. And he brings it to between the two of you. And he lifts it over his one hand, sort of just levitating it there. And he begins to, like, just almost like he's pulling on something heavy. And you see the water separating into his other hand. And more Madrite just falling down into his the one hand below the water. And he tosses it in the right. Just like that. B explains.
I'm going to attempt to try that.
Alright.
What would I be rolling?
Intellect.
Intellect plus what?
Plus any sort of applicable skill you have.
When do
Still
I
my
come in,
skills.
by the way?
Very soon. Very soon.
Sorry, I'm trying to find. I guess I'll get rid of these skills in my thing. But, so, intellect, could I use... That's the wrong thing. Could I use, what is it? Latent... It's for magic.
You kind of broke up there. What did you say?
I said, can I use latent power? It's for magic.
Sure.
That's a
Fine.
+2. So it's, what, int plus... So that would be 5? Okay.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Yeah. Damn it. Wow, that's a nat too.
You try to separate the two from one another, and it's not working out in your favor. You actually like slingshot the globe of water straight out of your grasp, and it just falls back into the river.
Straight at who?
You actually like slingshot the water from trying to like pull it away, and it actually just flings right back into the river.
I kind of mumbled to myself. Can I attempt that again?
One more time, sure. B explains, don't take it too harshly. Because you're fire, you're probably going to have trouble with trying to do anything related to water. It's just how it is sometimes. And, this time, you try to do it, and once again, you just fling the water, except this time it just splashes all over B. And she just sort of looks at you in this, like, annoyed fucking look, and it's like, really?
I look at her and chuckle a bit and say, wow, you look kind of cute when you're like that. Yep.
Very funny. Anyways, we should get back to the village. not a whole lot of time, right?
I would say so, yes.
Alright, you return to the village, and Othello, you meet back up with Elena and the machine. You guys can go from here. How do you interact?
How much water am I carrying right now, anyways?
You filled up your flasks.
Oh,
Okay.
so I filled up the flasks.
So I
Yep.
went
Okay.
hunting, didn't I?
Oh, you did, didn't you? What are you looking for specifically? Like, are you looking for, like, materials for poisons, or...
Well, I'm not gonna find that in hunting, probably.
Oh, you mean, like, okay, so you're not... Okay, I figured by hunting you meant foraging as well, so you're actually hunting.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll for trying to track down some prey.
What kind of role should that be, really?
Intellect, I'll say.
I would
think
probably
this would be
say-
intuition wouldn't it, though, for that, but I meant, like, skill-wise.
Yeah,
I'd say
intuition. We'll go with
I'd say-
intuition.
I'd say ability and skill.
So, do you have any skills that you would think would be appropriate for hunting
I
at
don't
all?
know. I used to have survival, but I don't know what that ended up becoming.
Could you send me your skill tree thing real quick?
I guess just use sniper, basically, would probably be the closest, right?
Sure. Okay, that works.
I would say also, with the stats, I'd say he's probably using intuition and ability. Or intuition and intellect, at least.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and make the roll, man. Let's see. Wow, not bad.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's +9, so...
Alright, so you're just stalking around. Quiet as... well, quiet can be. And, you look forward, and from behind a tree, you can see this sort of like boar, alone, just sitting there, just digging into the ground. You know, you can hear it just as it's just going about. It doesn't seem to notice you.
Bang.
How do you approach? Are you just gonna shoot? All right. Go ahead. Make a roll.
Oh, again? Alright.
Yep.
Now I'm curious.
Hey, lied.
Yeah. What's up?
This is what B should look like.
I can see it. Yeah.
25.
Jesus. Okay. So yeah.
Just a
do you
good
want
roll.
to describe how you kill this hog?
Single shot, straight to the heart, instantly dead. Passes through
Alright.
seamlessly.
Why not through the head? Don't taint the meat.
Oh, you're not supposed
Man,
to shoot
hogs,
them in the
dude.
head.
Hogs have really thick skulls too. Also.
Yeah, they do.
You're never
You're really
supposed to
thick.
shoot an animal in the head.
I
Didn't you
think
know
this
that?
doesn't. I think this doesn't matter when you asked how do you kill it.
Anyways, so you shoot it straight clean through the heart. It releases a and then just very promptly dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you knew any hunters, they'd tell you to just go for the heart.
Yeah, the chest cavity is probably more. Well, what's the word I'm looking for? Deleterious to the animal. Anyways, so you retrieve the hog, I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just sort of like dragging it back to the village then.
Yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
lied.
How much time do I? How much time did I take up?
It took you about like 2 hours.
Okay,
do that?
Then sure.
Hey, lied. I put something in character.
Okay. One second.
Well, while he is hunting. While he
Also,
knows.
because before he returns to the group, he seeks Othello seeks a lonely place of the wood and basically does this.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Yeah, well, he's out hunting. Elena's teasingly flirting with me, by the way. Yep.
Just to
Gotcha.
just to cope with the shit that happened over the last days.
Gotcha. Just screaming into the void, huh?
Oh, did you guys see the GIF I posted in general?
By all means. But anyways, we're going to continue. So, Othello, you meet back in the village, and
Yeah.
you find Elena and B, along with the machine. He seems to be dragging something back to the village, actually, the machine does. And you notice he's just killed this huge boar. Yeah.
It's huge.
Good catch.
I've killed bigger.
Yeah. That's what everyone can say afterwards. B.
In fact, I think this is smaller than your grandpa.
Hush.
Wow.
But I have to say, my grandpa has a thicker skull.
Anyways, B looks at you. Yeah. And you notice that she's all wet, like she just went swimming or something.
What happened with you? Did you take a dip in the lake? I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
really recommend it, you know.
Is
Oh.
this?
Yeah, me and Elena, we went, skinny dipping out there.
And I
Wait.
wasn't there.
I nod. I'm like, yep, we definitely went skinny dipping.
Oh man, I would have joined you.
Definitely. Is that how big of a boar he caught?
No, not nearly that big. I mean, it's pretty big, but it ain't Hogzilla. Jesus Christ.
I think it's gigantic.
Hogzilla. Back
Yes.
onto matters. We don't have time for this.
I'm actually
Um,
dubious. I mean, I've heard of hogs getting big, but I don't know, man. That seems fucking ridiculous.
Like, there's also this image.
I mean, come on, a gun? I don't know, man.
This
I don't
is
know.
photoshopped.
Okay, I can believe that. I can believe the
All I
second.
know is you don't always need a license to hunt those things anymore.
Some
Yes, you
places,
don't.
some places you can just hunt them because they're a problem.
Yeah.
Anyways,
B.
Anyways, go ahead.
You know how the airships function?
No, not really. I mean, I've been on them before, but I've never seen how they work.
Yeah, basically they get into the air through a big meteorite crystal acting as a core for the engines.
That's
And-
genius.
Yeah. And basically the core that runs our ship has a giant crack in it.
Well, that sucks. I'm guessing then it can't be used to fly the ship.
Exactly. So we need a new core or a way to repair the old one.
Well, you have a few options. I don't think really repairing the crystal will really do you any good. That would only be a temporary solution, at best.
Oh, so you think any of you guys who are like metally magical?
Hey, Wide, real fast. Gonna
Yeah,
PM you something Elena is doing.
okay. Repairing it like that would only be temporary, at best. But you do have a few options.
Mm.
You can try and find a deposit of modrite somewhere. Just go towards the mountains. That's your best bet. Your other option around here, we have. I don't even know why I'm suggesting this to you, but the families here they keep a huge crystal of modrite. Each family does, and when a new member of the family is born, they carve out a piece of the crystal, and they use this to identify each other.
So you want me to either search a mountain for the random chance of obtaining a piece of it, or we could use those who are already there, but are family heirlooms.
Oh, yes. I really don't know what else you could do, to be honest. Maybe the chief would have some other piece of advice for you, but I don't know.
Well, we could always just do a temporary fix and get the hell out of here.
We have a promise to keep.
What was that promise you made?
Escalon, he interjects here. I think it'd be wise if our ship were consistent in working. I'm not really a fan of a temporary solution.
Also, who does guarantee us that this temporary fix lasts until we're back in Sklander?
Also, Elena is away for some reason. I don't know where they went. What did you say?
Who does give us the guarantee that this temporary fix will last us until Sklander? I mean, we could be halfway there, then the crystal just breaks completely and we would plummet down at the speed of a rock.
Hey, I just got another idea. Shouldn't there logically be, like, a bunch of ships that have fallen before?
As you're saying that, B actually, she says, actually you're right. Occasionally, we do find remnants of ships. But usually they don't really fall too close to the village. You'd have to go looking for one. But if you could find one, then its core might still be intact. You could use that.
Let's get back to the village and see what we can do.
You're in the village. You're in the village.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you guys want to wait for Elena, by the way? Or do you want to continue? Yeah, we'll wait for Elena. We'll just take a short break.
By the way,
here.
what did he PM you?
Nothing. He disconnected before he got to send it. There they are.
There he is.
Elena, you big dunce.
You there?
No, it's just a phantom.
Oh my god.
Dun dun dun.
They're eating her. And then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god!
That was the best quote.
I know. You know what really made that scene? It was the fly on the guy's head, 10 out of 10.
I don't know. That whole movie was great, but only for like a shit quality.
It was so bad that it was good, man.
It's not that it was so bad it was good. It was that it was constantly shit the whole time.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm back. I need to tap out what this is gonna do. So there's this interjection for a second there. Hold on.
Okay.
It was literally a horror movie that was more a comedy by the end. Before the end, like the whole time.
Yeah, I know. It was so shit that it was good.
It's like the Changeling, the Dreaming of movies.
Gotcha. Okay.
Without hipsters trying to defend it.
Okay. So, continuing on. So, those are your options. You can try and find a, thing of Modrite out in the wilds, or you can maybe try and convince one of the families here to give up their stone, but good luck with that. Or, there's also the chance that you could find a downed ship with the core still intact. Maybe.
There's also always the option of, like, just getting it quick fixed.
So, Cedric, I'm sorry, I need to start referring to you guys by character. Othello, what do you want to do?
I'm basically thinking about what to do next, because we're kind of in a pickle now. Let me think.
If anybody wants to chip into the conversation, go ahead and feel free to do so.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well,
any
it's
of
off-
you having an idea, because I'm currently burned out, kind of.
I was basically wondering if their emotions like changed it or anything.
Elena's off doing something right now, so
Oh,
which I rolled for, Led.
Oh, what'd you get? Oh,
A
I
big
see.
number.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead.
She's off
you
to
do that.
she's off to shag B.
Kind of hard to do that when B is there with you, though.
yeah, but
It's true.
but they're magical, so they could be in two places at once.
Clearly. I mean, come on, man. If you seen Naruto, they got fucking clones and shit, man.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, Elena, you do that. B speaks up, and she says, "Listen, I think you might be able to convince Chief to go ahead and give you his core, at least lend it to you. You don't need it for forever, right? I mean, you're just using it to get your ship back in the air, right?"
Basically, but if those ancients are not really fond of us, we might just be able to return it as dust.
Hey, wait. Why are we going after the ancients?
To have a
B-
chance in this war.
What?
To convince them to help us.
Why do we need them again?
They're extremely powerful. If we could convince them to help us, then, I mean, we would be at a great advantage in this war.
Oh yes.
Like I said, he's more focused on just getting this over with. And at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, it's precious to him, but look, think about it like this. Elena and him, they're the last members of his family. It's not like he has anybody waiting to inherit the stone when he dies anyway, besides Elena.
Oh yeah, and he's probably hit mana pods by now, right? My guy's got 1 point in intelligence.
That's like average intelligence.
Is it?
It's true. Yes.
Okay, what would 0 be?
0 would be you're dead.
Oh. So what
0 would be your vegetable.
So what would be stupid? Or just not very bright?
There's really not. It's assumed that most people are of average intelligence.
Yeah, I character's like poorly educated.
I mean, yeah, you can roleplay being poorly educated, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not intelligent per se.
Exactly. Alright.
Yeah. Mechanical interpretations aside, let's continue on. So I think that might be your best bet, honestly.
I'm
No
guessing
guarantee,
Elena
Phil.
returns after
Yeah,
some point.
You return at this time, Elena, and you catch the very end of this conversation, and she says to Othello, "Yeah, I think that would be your best bet, honestly."
I sneak up on Othello. I'm actually sneaking up on Othello.
All right.
Don't you dare, woman!
Go
I
ahead
am being
and
the sneaky.
go ahead and make a stealth roll, and Othello make a perception.
What's the
roll.
stealth roll? Like when I'm rolling for it?
Ability.
Ability. Yeah.
Okay. So just straight ability? Nothing else?
Well, you don't have a skill, do you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, just ability. Yep.
Okay.
And Othello, go ahead and give a perception roll.
Perception roll, that would be exactly what?
Intuition.
Don't you also have like a skill that applies? I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah, that'd be intuition.
I would say that would be intelligence, honestly.
Is it?
I'd say probably pick your poison with that one because both of them apply to it.
Yeah, make an intelligence and a skill roll, Othello.
Intelligence and ability? Or what?
Yeah, that, or if you have a skill that applies.
Okay.
Pretty sure you took one, but I don't know if you still have it.
Thank you.
No, he's good at yelling at people.
You are completely oblivious to this. So, Elena, go ahead and describe what you do. Describe what you do.
Just suddenly, out of nowhere, you feel this metallic. What materials would have been available?
Maybe like a leather strap, sort of like to act as like the, thing you put around the neck. Real kinky.
Yeah.
Real kinky.
So you suddenly feel this leather material touch you, and then you feel something heavier just kind of drop on your chest as Elena is, from what you would guess, putting a necklace around you.
Anyway, also, I'm going to have a complication here because you rolled so badly.
Hey, can I ask that?
Othello, you are so caught off guard by this that you actually, start to, squirm around, because you're just so caught off guard, you go ahead, role play it out.
He actually flails around. Ambush!
Yeah, I'm just putting the necklace on you as you're flailing.
What do I see?
You see Elena, sneaking up behind Othello.
Yeah.
And then you see her slip something over his neck. You assume it's a garrote.
Yeah, probably. And I'm not
A
gonna
Garrett
say
Wire?
anything.
But yeah, I just finished tying it, whatever thing I made to kind of latch it on there.
All right, and then you step away, and Othello, you notice.
I step around him and stand beside B and look at him, and I'm like, I'm just looking at him.
So yeah, now you have your own Modrite necklace, Othello.
What is this thing?
Oh, don't you know? B says that's a marriage proposal. It's custom down here for the wife to make the jewelry, present it to the husband. Yeah.
His eyes go wide. Looks at Alina, at B, back at Alina, back at B, back at Alina.
I just look at B. I'm flustered. I just say it's not a marriage proposal.
I am honored, and I kind of understand why you would do this, but really,
That's I'm not proposing to you.
well, who else? My neck?
I kind of just punch B's shoulder, but not in a hard way, in the more why you do this way.
She sort of play shoves you a little bit. Come on, don't hide your true feelings.
I just look at him you're cuter than he is.
Machine. You notice a change in the people around you, their auras. They sort of fluctuate just rapidly in their tone and demeanor.
Is mine?
Yours is staying the same, I'd imagine, unless you're having some sort of emotional response to this as well.
I am. Read the in character, basically.
Jealous face.
Don't you?
So, yeah, you also notice a change in your own, though you don't quite understand, what's changed, I'd say.
Did you hear what I said the last though?
No.
No, I heard.
The last second, Elena said to B, it's she told B, she's you're cuter than he is.
She looks at you. Oh, thank you.
Oh, I didn't know you go that way.
roll to bitch slap. No.
By the way,
Roll initiative. No.
are they in the tent of the chieftain?
No, you're just standing out like in the middle of the village. But B actually takes some initiative and she says, "All right, we should probably go and talk to the chief now."
Do I still have that necklace on?
You do, yes.
I basically walk at a brisk pace into the chieftain's tent, because if that really is what B said, I want to see his reaction to that.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh no.
All right. So you're just walking. Are you walking in like a sort of confident manner, or?
Oh, I walk there as smug as possible.
I think he's walking there, and the manner's like. I think he's walking in the "I just had sex" manner.
I just had sex.
He starts speaking, and it just so happens that the words he's saying are like something along the lines of, "Yeah, I fucked your grandchild."
No, he walks in there, basically holding his head high, so he has a really good view on that necklace.
I follow him doing the gangsta walk.
Oh, of course. I'm assuming Elena goes as well, then, right?
I'm kind of pushing B in front of me to hide myself as
Okay.
he's doing this.
All right. So you walk in. The old man, he looks up at you. He sees the necklace. He asks a question, and he's like, "Ooh, you're in trouble now. Chief wants to know what's up with that."
I say, hey, I
you
give it to him.
You can tell him what happened, that his granddaughter put this on me.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said, did you?
All right. She B steps out of the way, and she points towards you, Elena, and she she speaks in her language, and you see the chief's jaw just drop for a second as his eyes just shoot open.
Just short of hitting the ground with a loud thud.
Alright, he stands up, and he begins to slowly make his way over to you. You can't tell if he's pissed, or if he's like, what's going on with him?
Is it that bad look where it's just like, I don't know what to like, where it's just like, I don't know how to feel about this.
I tried to slip something into the chief's hands real quickly.
What is it?
A gun.
He pushes the gun away.
I turn
Alright.
my head and just keep walking.
And he walks up to you, Othello,
Mm-hmm.
and he sort of just like jabs your chest with the
Ow.
fucking staff as he begins to like say things to you. B translates.
Say things.
B translates. Yeah, you can't understand him all gibberish to you. And B translates. He says that you better take care of her, and that if he finds out about anything else that you do wrong to her, he'll personally see to it that you're well. He'll basically what he's saying is he'll make sure that you regret ever being alive.
He looks at B and says, "Well, he shouldn't be concerned of me leaving her and he should be relieved because his family bloodline is saved." And he winks at her.
Ooh.
I just hide behind B again, and I'm like, it wasn't a murder proposal.
Okay, I gotta go up to you now.
To whom?
Be like, this is only gonna end one way.
It kinda ends two ways. B, would you be so kind to translate? And he's almost breaking a rib while trying not to burst out in laughter.
What am I translating exactly?
That he shouldn't be concerned with me leaving her, and he should be relieved because his family bloodline is saved. I mean, I'm basically dropping a hint like a flagpole there.
Alright. Are you sure about that?
I just want to see how he reacts.
Alright.
And that was the moment he fucked up.
She translates. I'm just gonna do a roll here, see how Chief reacts.
Oh boy.
Negative.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oof. Oof.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh no.
Alright.
Wait.
He just...
Wait, I got like another thing. You know how my character has the power of controlling emotions?
Yeah.
He's got unknowingly alter his to be even worse.
Oh, okay. I'll allow it.
So what should do I
Oh,
just
no.
roll, or...
I'll
Suddenly he
just
bursts
say...
out in tears of joy.
One second. I'll say, since you don't have a maneuver pertaining to it just yet, I'll go ahead and I'll let you just make a maneuver real quick.
Okay.
What do you want the maneuver to do exactly?
Lower...
Amplify emotion, I would say.
Yeah, amplify negative emotion.
Negative emotions or just emotion in general?
No, negative
Okay.
only.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, come on, man, he's an assassin. He ain't got no positivity. Alright, anyways, so you do this, and you notice your aura sort of like just encasing around the chief. And then this just explosion of anger just radiates outward. Immediately, he just takes his staff, right? He just slams it into the ground, right? B instinctively, like, just grabs Elena and dives out of the way as this just fist of rock just shoots straight out at you, Cedric. Make a defense roll.
Oh no.
You got to be kidding.
I thought
Please
you,
don't do
I
that.
thought he was gonna do something else, but okay, this is still pretty cool.
What exactly do I have to roll?
Ability?
Yeah, ability. Actually, no. Since you don't see it coming, intuition plus a skill.
Intuition, that is a 1, and I would like to add military, military knowledge.
All right. You're looking at least a 15 to die.
Okay, dice, don't mess with
You
me
can,
now.
if you want. Okay. Let's see. What'd you get?
11.
And that-
Okay.
okay.
I didn't get to explain one thing to you, so I will probably allow you to re-roll that. You can sacrifice some of your potential to increase your chances of success. 3 potential gives you a +1 to the roll, and you can do it multiple times.
I'm gonna do it 5 times.
That's okay. Go ahead and re-roll.
Wait, how much is that?
15.
Oh shit. Spent like almost all of it.
Let's see, I have 8 left. And I get a +5 on my roll, that equals to a +7.
Alright, go ahead and roll.
Watch, he rolls a nat 1 this time.
Oh no.
Pretty close.
10.
You somehow rolled worse.
Even worse!
Okay, so here's what happens. The fist of stone, just, you literally cannot see this coming. It just flies straight out of the ground.
Please
Impacts
into my stomach.
right into your stomach. And just, you actually fly straight through the wall of the hut, out into the middle of the village. You're just tumbling. You can feel a couple of your ribs actually break from the impact of this as you continue to roll across the ground. Take 6 points of damage.
I only got 2 left.
Alright, the chieftain he begins to walk out, just fury just on his face.
Oh, fuck.
At this point, I'm gonna say, Escalon, he grabs a hold of you, Machine, right? And immediately you notice the aura over the chieftain just disappear. And he says, control yourself.
I did what now?
You're letting your emotions get the better of you.
Wait. Are you saying I just did that?
In a roundabout way, yes. And then you notice a shift in the chief's demeanor. He's still really pissed off at you, Othello. But he speaks, and B shakily translates, and he asked B, was it consensual? And B looks to you, Elena, and she says in a chuckle, I don't know, was it?
Please. Othello looks almost on the verge of throwing up and passing out at the same time. Someone should probably keep him on his side if he loses consciousness.
I'm gonna run up to you, actually, and, like, take a look.
Yeah, he's pretty fucked.
Okay, I'm also gonna take the necklace while I'm right next to him.
Do I notice this?
Yes.
And I almost look with this sort of pleading look at Alina.
Do I notice you trying to take the necklace?
Yes.
I'm gonna literally snap my fingers and put like a wall of fire between your hands and that necklace.
Roll.
Yeah, give us a roll.
Please don't roast me.
No, it's in a small, concentrated area. It's fine.
You know, this
it
is
still
just...
does something.
On a nat one, you just explode. Cedric's character dies.
You know, this is just straight up karma.
What? That's a plus
trying.
7. Okay, let's do this. Wait, am I rolling that plus ability?
Yes.
That's a plus 10. Woo!
Could still be a nat 1. No one's rolled one yet. Nat 20.
No, it's a net. No, it's
Wow!
Describe
Holy
it.
shit. Okay, so yeah, describe it. Describe this immaculate
So,
defense.
just sudden burst of just flame just appears right where right where the machine's hand's about to go to grab the necklace, and she kind of angrily just looks at him and says, "That is a gift from me to him. You are not taking that."
I'm actually gonna say that it appears like right on, like your hand is actually like burned the hell out of it. You take 2 points of potential damage.
Is it possible that I could power through it and still do the grab?
I'll allow a roll for it, but it is gonna be fucking hard. Yeah, but go ahead.
She basically pulled off of a perfect
That was a
flame.
crit, so if you do take damage, it's going to be double.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a perfect 20 roll to power through it. Don't forget,
Well,
you can sacrifice some of your potential to.
Yeah, I'm not doing that
Yeah,
for
but-
this. I might die.
Yeah, think of it. If your hand is full of blisters through the burn,
Yeah.
you will not be
keep
able
in
to
mind.
fire your rifle.
Keep in mind, at minimum, Elena does. What is it?
Yeah, but
That's
you,
4.
Yeah, but you pulled your punch.
She does at minimum 7. She'll do at minimum 9 damage to you.
Yeah, but
I'm just gonna say, for the sake of this, I'm gonna say that it just is 2 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
'Cause, I mean, I'm not really gonna.
yeah, plus,
I'm not trying to kill a
I
machine
mean, you
here.
also did
Yeah, I
pull
know.
your punch, kind of. You said small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it was just an area to ward off your hand because it's basically fire hot enough to just be like.
Okay, how about we make a roll to see like how far it is I stop at, really?
Okay, go ahead.
Ooh.
What do I add, if anything?
Ability plus a skill,
Okay, what skill might that be?
if you have any skill. You might not.
Okay, escape artistry probably wouldn't work. Sneak's not gonna work. Nothing's going to work. Yeah. Don't.
All right, so just do ability then. Yeah,
Ability?
yeah, just
Ability.
ability.
Okay.
I would say ability and probably intuition.
Does my attraction resistant work?
Yes.
What does
I'll
that
say
do?
it gives you a +1.
Okay. 26.
Wow.
I power through it.
Okay, so you actually got a hold. I'll
Nat
say here's what
20.
happened.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you get a hold of the necklace, right? And I'm thinking here. I don't know. Should he pull it off? Should he be able to pull it off?
Yeah.
Or
I got a nat 20 versus a nat 20, and I'm the defender.
I'll give him an option here. She's watching him about to pull this off, right?
okay, here's what I'll say. 1 second. Here's what I'll say. You can power through it, but you're going to get a temporary detraction for your hand being burned the fuck out of, if you did.
Okay. And this is... Yeah, it's his dominant hand. Let's just go with that.
But if you pull back without taking the necklace, there's no detraction damage. That's all.
1 sec. Odd or even?
Even. Why not?
Okay, I do it.
Alright, you just power on through and you just snatch the necklace right out.
I'm watching him do this, and I look at him and say, "Give that back to him, or else I'm gonna turn you
Okay, no, first off...
into
we
a
have to-
charred pile of
Okay,
ash."
first off, we have to describe what just happened.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just see this
So-
blinding white flash of fire in front of me, and I don't slow down.
Oh no, it's not even white. It's like clear.
It's whatever. Doesn't matter. It's just beyond. And I just...
And
power-
this is to go even further beyond. Go ahead, my bad.
And you know, it's you know, it's basically Spider-Man under the machinery type deal here. You know, I'm just going through it. I'm not hearing anything. I'm not seeing anything. Everything just goes white noise. I pull it through the fire. The necklace is probably damaged from me doing that even. And then I just look at my hand and notice it is completely singed.
What's up?
Like, oh, sorry, did I cut out?
Yeah.
No, it must be Elena. I heard you fine.
Alright. And I just pull my hand out, and the hand is just everything on there is just, like, the skin's not even there.
Oof. Yeah, like you're actually like, I'm gonna say you got the necklace, but you probably just dropped it because you're like, holy fuck, my hand, it hurts.
The pain
Also,
has
you
not
can't
registered.
fire your rifle. Also, you can't use your rifle only with a penalty until your hand is healed.
Yeah, I use the pistol, an offhand.
Anyways, I'm just gonna, before we continue, I'm just gonna go ahead and get these detractions because we just got a bunch on the field. Okay, so, Othello,
Hmm?
you gain an detraction, broken ribs.
Wait, shouldn't this be called trial by fire for me?
You can call it whatever you want. All that's important is you know what it does and what it entails. Anytime you make a strength or ability roll, the strength or ability roll is one less. For you, Othello.
Okay.
And Machine. For you, your accuracy while firing with your dominant hand is reduced by 2.
I think it should be this instead. I have to use the offhand.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. You have to use your offhand now.
Yeah, until it heals, which is gonna be, who knows. We'll come back to that at a later point.
Wow. Man, this party really is something. Don't even run into any enemies, they just fuck themselves up.
But yeah, I say what I say to him. I say like, it's that you are not stealing a gift I made for him.
Oh, so that's how you feel, he says.
And you notice, like, her aura just intensifies that much. She is deadly serious about this. Escalon steps in again at this moment. He says, "Stop it. All of you. I need you alive and on each other's side, not quarreling over some necklace."
Ouch. I might just pass out.
Do it.
Bleh.
Oh wait, my...
Is
by this
the
point,
necklace damaged at all or no?
yes.
maybe like slightly singed the leather up. I mean, other than that, it's
No,
fine.
my hand's skin disappeared. It's definitely damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fucked.
Anyways, so I'm gonna say, At this point, you notice like a bunch of the weirds have just gathered around, like they're just watching this scene unfold. Elena, she says something to the chief, and he
I do what?
not Elena, I'm sorry. B says something to the chief, and he sort of calms down.
What did you say?
I told him that it was all just a joke.
This was a joke?
Well, what Othello was, what he said, yeah.
The character just raises his hand.
Well, that's your own fault now, isn't it?
Yeah, I just look at you and say, you tried to take something I made for a friend.
You couldn't have told me that this was all a joke before.
I just kind of look at the necklace. I'm gonna go to repair it. I don't know. I guess I'm going to the chieftain's hut and try to find something to repair it with. But Elena's kind of pissed off right now.
Okay.
At who? Everyone?
The machine.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see the deeper meaning in what he did. Okay.
Well, I mean, that is kind of a flaw of Elena's character. She ain't exactly, the most cunning.
She's pretty impulsive.
Yeah.
Mm.
She's just like, you stole from me, and that's all there is to it.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Look, she's socially inept, impulsive, and unstable.
Yeah, she ain't gonna catch up on anything. Anyways, Othello. A few of the the weirds, they help you to your feet, right? B sort of like translates what happens to them. One of them like smacks you on the back, as a congratulatory. He says something, and you're not sure if he's complimenting you or if he's like insulting you.
Me?
But he seems to have like Othello.
Oh.
Othello.
So no one's gonna be like, oh, he did that. Okay.
This was just one clap too much. He froze up.
Right on the ground. B, she looks over towards you, Machine, and she says, we can see about getting you some help for that hand.
Fuck his hand! Help my stomach!
It's a good reminder, I guess. At least it's all
Yeah.
out in the open now.
Yeah, back when I was in Gaius, crime for theft was often, if they didn't banish you, they just cut your hands off.
Theft?
I mean, at least you still have your hand, right?
I wouldn't call this theft.
She seems to think so. Anyways, we're just gonna fast forward here because we've stuck on the scene for a while. Anyways, so you're all gathered together in the chief's hut. And B is currently making the case for the chief to lend you the family core for your ship. The chief agrees, but he says that you better keep it safe, and that he expects it to be returned once this is all over. He then shows you to the core. It's in the back of his hut. It's pretty fucking big, but you can see various pieces of it have been chipped off, presumably for crafting of different sorts of jewelry, signifying new members of the family being born.
By the way, is he mad because I made that joke?
Yeah, he still seems a bit, pissed at you. Yeah.
I wonder what he thinks of me now.
You wonder what?
I wonder what the chief thinks of the machine now.
You could always ask.
Yeah, later. Oh well.
Anyways, he says it's all yours. Just like I said, bring it back when you're done with it.
I will.
So you get together a group of people to move the core. And Wilhelm, the pilot. The pilot actually remarks, "Wow, I gotta say, you did that pretty fast. Wasn't expecting it to be that quick."
I walk up to the chieftain, by the way.
Okay.
I bow and look at B. Please say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to anger him.
Alright. She translates this. He sort of just gruffs at his like,
When no one
Also-
else is around, I'm gonna see the chief, actually. Just fear.
Okay.
Also, just because we didn't treat them as equals, I would never lay a hand on her. Ask her, I never laid a hand on her with any intent.
B looks to you, Elena. Is that true?
She's still kind of fuming, but she turns around, just wearing the necklace, whatever she's doing with it, and she's like, "It's true. He's not the one who branded me at all. It's mostly the military. He never actually did land a hand. Yeah, I can't speak. Lay a hand on me."
She translates this. The chief, he nods. He says a few words, and B translates again. He apologizes. He doesn't know what came over him exactly. He just got really angry all of a sudden, and it was odd. He admits that he overreacted a little bit, and that he apologizes. Anyways, so they start to get to work on repairing the core of the ship. Machine, you're with B and the chief, and he looks to you. He speaks. B translates. What do you want exactly?
I feel we should just talk about what happened.
He looks to you. He speaks. Why is it that you tried to?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you cut out for me.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
He asks, why did you try to steal the necklace?
it wasn't a theft.
What do you mean?
It was a crime of passion.
Is Elena still in the hut?
No,
No, you're away.
Okay, I was gonna say.
You should be careful where that passion might lead you.
I have a mark to remember it now, at least.
If you draw too close to a flame, you only get burned.
Even
But
worse if you try to go into it.
uh, would you like some help with the hand? Exactly.
It's better if it heals on its own. It'll leave a mark better that way.
You should at least make sure you don't get an infection.
I'm sure we have vodka on the ship.
Oof, that's gonna be intense. Jesus Christ.
That's gonna hurt so bad.
Alright, so in that case, was there anything else you wanted to say to the chief?
Yeah. Sorry about earlier.
What about?
Don't worry about it. He just walks away.
Huh. Okay, fast forwarding a bit. Another half a day passes. Night now. And, after hours and hours of laboring away at this, some of the weirds helping you, just all over the ship, You've gotten a sort of like makeshift crew at this point. I mean, none of these people really know what they're doing, but damn if they don't have Gusteau, right?
By the way, there is actually vodka on the ship, right?
Yes, there are. Yep.
Alright.
No, I mean it's a Russian-themed nation, and they don't drink vodka. It's a whiskey. They drink whiskey.
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly.
They're gonna drink a whiskey that's gonna make your hand burn so bad.
Anyways, finally, the engine hums to life, and the blade of the propeller just chops through the air. And the pilot, he yells over to you, "Captain, we're good to go. At your orders, sir." Officer.
That's what I wanted to hear.
B says, "I'm going with you." To the group as a whole.
Well, you know these parts like no other, so you will be a welcome addition.
Where's Elena right now?
You're on the ship as well. You guys are all on the ship.
Alright,
Oh,
I repaired the necklace, by the way, and I just kind of walk over and...
Okay.
I open up Othello's hands, I put it in there, and I lean in to talk to him in the ear, and I'm like, don't let him touch it again.
Machine, you see this. How do you react?
I walk over to him. Just stand right in front of him and say, "Yeah, sorry about that earlier."
Don't do it again. I also pull Alina a bit closer and whisper over to her. Was this thing with the necklace some kind of sick joke?
I shake my head. No, it's a gift. Became a weird, and it's gonna help you better control it.
Yeah, by the way, how are you feeling?
Who?
The guy who
Elena?
almost died. No, Cedric? What was your character's name?
Othello.
Othello.
Oh, okay.
Real quick, before we continue on, Machine, I have an offer for you.
What?
I'll grant you a point of experience in exchange for a complication to your character.
Okay, what is it?
Okay. A new detraction on top of your burned hand. Dark Impulse.
Okay, you gotta explain what that is, though.
Okay, I will. I'm getting there. I'm just telling you the name first. Basically, because of this sort of feud you have going on, almost this sort of crime of passion, as you put it. You can even call her that if you want. Whenever you see Elena and Othello's characters interact, there's a chance that you might just impulsively do something bad.
I don't know, I feel like this is a good way to wrap up that, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
you cut out for me again.
Oh, I was saying you don't have to accept it if you don't want to. It's just an offer. I thought it might be interesting for the story. Do you decline?
I don't know, even or odd.
Odd.
Alright. Okay. What did you want
You
to call
accept? You can call it Dark Impulse, or you can call it Crime of Passion. Basically, whenever you see Elena and interact with one another, there's just a chance that you might just act impulsively to do something.
Yeah, okay, I wrote it down.
Okay.
Getting a lot of negative ones lately.
Yeah, the machine has a tough time of it. He'll power on through, though.
My rib cage is basically a puzzle.
Yeah, sorry about that, he says, again.
Anyways, B explains some of the other weirds wanted to go with you as well. You see, here, it's kind of a rite of passage almost. They say that at least once in our lifetime, we should go and we should see the ancients. So they volunteered to come along, if you'll accept them, sir.
I'm not even gonna question why he's apologizing for your broken sternum or whatever.
You're just like, okay,
Okay.
I forgive you.
Alright.
So first off, how do you react to Val's apology, and how do you react to B's question, Othello?
Whoa, I completely zoned out for a second.
Spaceman.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, so Val, the machine, apologized for what happened to your ribs, and B said that some of the weirds from the village wanted to go with you.
Why did they want to come with me?
She explained that because in their society, it's sort of a rite of passage that at least once in your lifetime you should go and you should see the ancients, and that's why they want to go with.
And why don't they come with us?
That's what they want to do. They want to go with you.
And who am I to go against tradition?
So you'll take us?
Of course.
All right. Real quick, you guys can just do a little bit of roleplay here. While I have to go do something real quick. I'll be right back.
Also,
Okay.
he does a deep breath, looks at Mel. Listen, you should watch your back really closely.
Boys, talking to the machine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Val,
Yeah?
he was interacting with you.
Oh, I wasn't sure if he was finished or not.
If you pull that kind of shit ever again, I swear to God.
Yeah. I unknowingly had that guy attack you.
Unknowingly! How do you do that shit unknowingly?
Well, you saw what that guy did. He gave me this power. I still don't know it. Do you know yours?
As a matter of fact, pretty much.
Well, gee, you can't expect us all to be Quasimodo or whatever. Yeah, you're lucky I didn't stick a hat, a feather in my hat and call it macaroni.
What?
Oh, you don't get it.
This doesn't make any sense, you buffoon.
See?
Oh, is it
Yes.
that yet?
Also, like, out of character, did you get the reference?
I did get the reference. Yes.
Yankee Doodle?
Yeah, I got the reference.
Stick a feather in your cap and call it
Okay.
macaroni.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Elena just kind of goes to give B a tour of the ship because she doesn't really want to see the machine.
Okay.
And she also wants to let just Othello deal with the situation at hand.
Gotcha. What happened while I was gone?
Oh, Othello was like, don't.
I was spewing threats.
I character.
To who?
Oh, to me.
Oh. Okay.
My character hands him the bottle of vodka.
Fuck off.
And then shows him, his arm. Did you hear me?
Yeah. I heard.
No, I meant him.
Oh.
What did he say?
I try to hand you the bottle of vodka, and I show you my arm.
You got what you deserved.
Anyways, we'll continue. So you're showing B around the ship, Elena,
Yep.
and she remarks, I've never been in the underbelly of one of these things. It's been years, actually, since I've been on a ship.
I respond back and say, huh? Some places are cozy, some aren't. I prefer the rooms personally.
Last time I was here was as a prisoner.
Now you're here as a guest. You can stay in my room if you really want to.
She looks at you. Gee, you're really coming off kind of strong here, aren't you?
No, just want a friend who isn't a guy right now.
Fair enough.
Wait, B also knows that means, doesn't she?
All
She
right.
also knows what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Back to you and
You cut out there, lad.
yeah, I know. Back to you and Othello. Othello, as you're talking to the machine, you hear.
Lad, you're
Behind-
cutting out really bad.
Okay, can you hear me now?
No, it's just her end.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean my bars are green,
Yeah,
so I don't really
Yeah,
understand.
I'm hearing all of your stuff right now.
Yeah.
Me too.
Had a long day, Cedric.
Kind of.
I can tell. Anyways, continuing on. Elena, can you hear us? Woohoo! Elena, you there?
Yo. You there?
They're typing something, so be right back. Okay, well, we'll continue on. They're not in the scene anyways. So Othello, you hear behind you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, what were you saying before? What about as you're showing around something?
As Othello is talking to the machine,
Yes.
you hear someone behind you, the guardsman, Wilhelm. Excuse me, sir.
Hmm.
Do you have a moment to talk?
Of course. What is it?
Oh, I was hoping we could talk alone.
Okay. And I move him to the pilot's cabin.
All right.
Over to the armory.
Okay. He asks. He looks you over. He just, again, just with this awestruck look, he's like, "What do they do to you?"
Well, this was
Kaboom.
necessary to show my allegiance, if you want to know.
Your allegiance to who?
To them.
So you don't serve Gaius anymore?
Oh, don't get me wrong, I serve Gaius more than ever. The thing is just that I will have to keep some promises when this war is over.
Sir, how can you expect them to accept you as you are? You know how they feel. I mean, do you really think they'll accept you like this?
And just to intimidate him, I smash my hand against the wall. Do I need to make a roll?
I'm not threatening you, sir. I'm just concerned.
I was asking you if I need to make an
No.
intimidation roll.
No. I mean, he's a little bit phased by, but he puts his hands up, And he says, I'm not threatening you, I'm just concerned with what's going to happen.
I am still a member of the Crawford family. And let's be honest, the most of the leading persons are probably dead by now. If I show up, they won't care a bit. If I show up with an army that will get rid of these Farsonians that are invading our land, they will accept me as I am, give or not.
If you say so. Good luck. He walks out. You fly for a ways. Around you outside, you can see you're in the desert now. Great Desert, as they've called it. And below, you can see the sparkling Madrite sands as it glitters in the moonlight. It's just, honestly, it's like a beautiful sight. It really is. And it's just vast. It's just incredible how large this area really is. You remember that they used to use this as a sort of internment area. It's where they would send people who they'd banished from Skalander down here. But back in those days, they determined that it was just too inhumane.
Hmm.
How long did it take for us to get here?
You've been traveling for about an hour or two. It's not going to take you that long, you don't think?
Okay, so not a bottle's worth of time.
Yeah.
Let's just say Elena's been bonding with a bee there.
Bonding, she says. I got you.
You can take that how you can
No,
take
no,
that
no.
how you want it.
I got you. I know what you mean.
All the stabby.
The what?
Nothing at all. You heard nothing. It was all a myth.
The pilot, he yells over. So, Captain, what exactly are we looking for out here? Officer.
You rescued yourself. We are basically looking for something called the Ancients. You remember the giant thunderbird?
He looks over to you, yes. And you look towards where he's looking, and you actually see that very same bird just swooping down towards your ship.
I am a bird.
Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Captain, what should we do? He yells.
Follow it.
Hey, do I see the
Alright.
bird?
You do, you see the bird as well.
Yeah, what's it
And
look
you
like?
just... It's just crackling energy. And it's huge. It's absolutely gigantic. It's so big, in fact, that it just eclipses the night sky. And it's just sort of... I'm gonna have you make a roll real quick. It's gonna be a presence roll, just a straight presence roll.
So, +1.
Yep.
I really should up that at some point.
Oof.
Not very good.
Alright, you're actually, like, from the sheer weight of it, like, you just, it's palpable. It's almost like something just pushing down on you. You actually get pushed down to your, like, hands and knees from the sheer just force of this.
Is it internal or external?
It's like pushing down on you from the outside.
Okay, so, like, does it have physical force, though?
To you, yeah. It feels like it does.
I'm asking if it could physically affect me, though. Like,
Yes.
so it, like, moves me physically, then?
Yeah, it compels you.
Oh, it compels. Okay, so that's internal. Okay, never mind. Because if it was external, I'd say maybe it like knocks me back.
Gotcha. So yeah, it's hard to breathe almost in this presence.
The alcohol
bird-
is not helping.
Yeah. Most of the crew probably just thinks you're like inebriated. You're like, oh.
Well, that, and we're seeing
anyways.
a giant monster.
Yeah. Anyways, the weirds, they just sort of just like bow down to this thing, like just almost like starting to praise it, if you will.
Is
And
Elena
it's-
and B there or no?
Yeah, you hear the commotion from above, and you come out and you see the bird. You notice this time it doesn't have its rider. The rider is missing.
Interesting.
I
And it
just
sort
kind of,
Yeah, go ahead.
I just kind of look at it in the eyes again, and I try to, I don't know. I guess I'm just looking at it at this moment.
Okay. You're looking at it, and it locks eyes with... And then it just begins to descend downward, releasing a cry with Elena.
Okay.
And then it just swoops downward and it releases a cry at the same time, just to... as it descends down to the desert below. Captain? Sir, what should we do?
I told you what we do. We follow it.
By your orders. And he hesitantly begins to follow the bird down. Eventually, after a few minutes, you arrive at this sort of like pillar, this stone pillar in the middle of the desert. The bird is resting in front of it. And your pilot brings you in as close to the ground as possible.
B, I will need you as a translator in case this thing speaks only the old language. So...
Does it look like this, by any chance, Lied? That'd be
Something like that, sure.
cool.
B, Alina, you will come with me. The rest, stay put. If anything happens, you leg it.
I'll be joining you as well, Escalade says.
I'll guard the vodka.
Don't pull anything funny though. I have enough of funny right now.
Alright, so, you and Elena, and you try to convince the others to stay up there, but all of the weirds follow you right down. Like, they don't give a fuck. They're just coming anyway.
I almost thought that, and I don't really say anything against it. I mean, it's why they are here.
And, the Thunderbird, it doesn't really, like, react aggressively towards you or anything. It's almost like it's waiting for something.
I bow deeply as I stand before the giant Thunderbird.
Alright. And as you bow, you hear a voice boom through the area. This is intriguing. And, real quick, so here's what I'm gonna do. Each of you can describe one ancient, besides the Thunderbird that's in the area.
One ancient?
One ancient. Everybody
Does
gets
it-
to make one.
I already know one. I already know what I'm gonna make.
Alright, who wants to
Okay,
go
go
first?
first. Go first, then Alina. Then we others have time.
Okay.
About it.
It's gonna be like this giant wolf, but it's pure white, and around its fur, it's not electricity, but it's just energy that seems to be kind of arcing off it a little bit.
Okay.
And its eyes are just, its eyes are white, but they seem to be glowing like a little bit, like the glow is a little dimmer compared to everything.
Gotcha. Okay, you're also going to, during this scene, NPC the wolf.
Okay.
Okay. So just keep that in mind. Who would like to go next?
Well,
Oh, I'm still looking for a pick. You go. I have it here. I know what one I want.
okay, I have a pick ready. Just found it. Oh, let me look if I can't find a better one.
I know I have it.
Elena, have you ever played have you ever played Dark Souls? I'm just imagining Sif.
Yes.
Almost.
I breathe the Dark Souls.
I'm just imagining Sif, right? That's all I can see.
Basically, what I would say, mine is a pretty big snake. About this look.
That's fucking cool. Alright.
Kinda curious eyes, and maybe same in nature, but still deadly nonetheless, I would say. As snakes tend to be.
Gotcha. Alright. You're gonna have to...
This is what the wolf looks like, clearly. This is clearly what the wolf looks like. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm just imagining a giant. I'm just imagining a giant pure white corgi at this point.
Anyways, Cedric, you're gonna have
No,
to
this is what it looks like.
you're gonna have to NPC the snake. Alright?
Okay.
During the scene. What do you got, Val?
I think I might have accidentally deleted it.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh well. It's this.
I posted a better image of Sif. It's okay.
Anyway,
Oh, don't talk too much about Sif or I'm gonna cry.
why?
Oh wow. This is a really awesome picture of Sif.
You don't know the story of Sif, do you, Val?
Probably not. I just know that you kill it.
Basically,
Sad. It's so sad.
basically,
So
what's
here's the short version of it.
Basically, the arena where you're fighting is the grave of his old master that basically died and succumbed to the darkness while trying to protect him. And when you go into the arena to get the ring to survive in the abyss, he basically looks at you with these sad eyes, like,
You
"Can't you
aren't
just leave
explaining
my
the
master?
context.
Can't you just leave my master alone? Can't you just
Oh,
go
wait.
in peace? Nothing. You will have nothing to gain down there." And as he sees that you will not leave, he basically picks up his old master's sword and gets ready to fight.
You're so no. That's not it. What's wrong with you?
Okay, interpretations of Dark... Continue. Let's continue.
Okay, I did find the pick as well. Nice.
Yeah, we can talk Dark Souls.
No, Cedric, you're right about it, but you're missing some context there. Sif is
It's been some time.
Yeah, no, Sif looks at you and he's like, "You're the guy who saved me. I don't want to fight you." And then you have to fight him anyways, and you're like, "Why do I
okay.
have to fight the puppy?"
Okay. So what you got, Val?
A giant owl.
God damn it, that's what I...
An owl.
Okay. Alright, that worked.
With pitch black eyes and three worms in its mouth. It's floating
I hadn't-
above the air. Wings are
Yeah.
of ghast. And it looks like this. Let's see if I can find it. Yep.
That's actually one of the animals I was going to include in the scene, but okay.
Alright.
That works.
A cat.
Yeah. So 4 ancients. Val, you'll have to NPC the owl.
And that's what it looks
Alright.
like.
And I'll say the owl is the one that...
God damn it.
Alright.
Don't you have a more majestic picture of an owl?
No, this is the one it looks like.
Okay, so the party begins to approach. How we're going to work this is, if at any point an ancient would speak to say something, just say what you think it would say. Alright, guys?
This is gonna
Okay.
be easy because I only have to RP one character.
Also, I'm gonna say the snake is female.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Wait. I found one that's less creepy.
Isn't my owl just magnificent? It basically has the universe in its eyes.
But mine has the universe in its face.
Okay, guys, come on, let's go though.
Yeah.
Alright.
So the owl was the one that said, this is intriguing when you started to approach. And the others, one at a time, do you want to describe how they enter into the scene?
Basically this a sand dune that looked awfully snaky basically ruptures and the snake just slithers out of it, coils around the pillar at the bottom, looks at the group with his big, round, curious eyes. Huh? Haven't seen those in a while.
I can go now. Okay.
Who's next?
It's just from the distance, just howl just echoes across the desert, and here comes running this giant wolf, this giant white majestic wolf, and it just kind of it jumps from its location and lands and kind of skids just a bit next to the snake and just looks at all the little humans on the ground. And says, "Well, this is interesting indeed. What do they want?"
The Thunderbird next to you speaks. I think that they're here to try and get our help.
Our help?
The Thunderbird speaks in a female voice.
They want our help, but with what?
What does the owl say?
The
As well
owl,
as-
which is standing on a giant tree. Its eyes gaze upon the rest and say, "We should be careful. There's no telling what stupidity they are bringing about them. Besides, remember what happened last time."
So then, why are you here, humans?
Basically, as feeling like a representative, a fellow speaks up. I am here to ask your help in a matter of us humans. The Farsonians have attacked Gaius, and I have made a contract with the chief of the village to keep some promises to the Geef if he helps us end this war and stop any other bloodshed and lives taken from happening.
And you want our help in doing so?
Yes.
That the wolf speaks up. "So, you want our help? Don't you have your weapons to do that for you?"
Our weapons won't be enough. And the snake speaks up. Well, my memories are a bit rusty, but did we interfere in the meddling of humans before?
It was a long time ago. Have you forgotten already?
Your memory's failing you, Snake.
Well, I take a lot of naps.
I say that we help the humans.
But
The Thunderbird says.
do you forget what that always leads to?
And what's that then, Owl?
It has, as it always has, simply led to more work and more impatient infidels to bring to our floor.
And if we help them, they might come to us with the next little problem they have. Next, they're gonna ask us to open a goddamn jar or something.
That the wolf just as a deep girthy chuckle. Possibly. But I don't want them coming down here either to try and take what's down here for themselves, like they did before.
Escalon steps forward. We would not approach you if we did not absolutely require your aid.
Basically, the snake slithers forward pretty close towards Escalon and almost flicks him with her tongue just to take a good whiff of him.
I apologize for my stint if it bothers you. I understand that you might be a bit bothered by it.
How would the ancients approach a yellowed eye, like someone who's come back from the dead?
They would know exactly what he is, and they may not be fond of
The wolf.
I
Sorry.
like his eyes.
You mean you like the demon's eyes?
Oh, like there's
He's
something.
returned from the dead. He's
You
a
know,
wraith.
Yellow. You know how I like new things. Come on, it's not like you know me since yesterday.
Am I the only one here who has died before?
Probably. But you look the part as well.
It's not that bad.
The Thunderbird speaks up. What do you mean? That you would not approach us if you did not need it? Is the situation so dire that you can't make it without us?
The wolf speaks up. You were up there, weren't you?
I was, actually. It does seem like...
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It does seem like the humans are at a quarrel for some reason. But for what that is, I cannot say.
Othello speaks up. Basically, we are in need of your help because the Farsonians seem to, and if I've understand you correctly, Escalon, they have taken aid in otherworldly powers as well.
That is correct.
Elena kind of steps forward and just...
This is just a guess in the blue, but whoever is helping them could be planning to awaken Madra.
Elena kind of sees this as a moment to ask a question that's been on her mind for a bit. She steps forward mainly to the eagle and says, "About 18 years ago, did you see two humans from the tribe wander into the desert?"
Yes, I think I might have. But then again, who specifically? I say. Oh, yeah.
The Thunderbird looks down at you. Its eyes just piercing into yours. And it says, "Can't say that I have. No."
Oh, wait, does mine still count though?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, the others can talk as well.
Would the ancients know if her parents came into that area? Would they have seen her? Seen them?
Yeah, probably.
Well, this snake speaks up. I have a pretty good nose, tongue, but I haven't smelled anything going through here. Could be.
You're always asleep when they show.
The wolf
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
The wolf kind of sits down, just like a dog, and just looks down and says, "I might have heard something a while ago. It's been a while, though."
Didn't you eat one of them recently?
Well, it was a crazed miner.
Yeah. You don't need to make excuses.
Escalon continues. What I said is true. The situation is so dire, and we will not be able to win this if you do not help us.
What?
Soon.
Oh, go ahead.
Soon, very soon, once all opposition in Skalander is, well, for the most part, quelled, the Ferosians will turn their eyes downward. And then, this world be their next target.
The wolf kind of
So-
stands up and says, sorry.
Othello speaks up. So them maybe trying to awaken Madra is not such a far guess as I thought.
No, the wolf speaks up. I doubt they know of Madrite. I assume they'd... Madra. I assume they'd come down here for the resources.
Yeah.
Which I do not want. This place used to be mined by them. And you know where that got them, don't you?
Why do you guys always send the dumbest of your kind here?
I don't want to sound offensive, but I am currently the leading force of Gaius, so... And one of the promises I made with the chief was that we will greatly cut down our let's say mining in this area, and will only do so in accordance to trade with the tribe, which should act in your favor, if I'm not mistaken.
The
The wolf
Thunderbird.
just... Sorry.
Go ahead.
I said the wolf just kind of looks down at Othello and says, "That's fine and dandy for them, but we want peace and quiet down here."
The Thunderbird speaks. How do we know that we can trust your word? Humans have come before us before, and time again, they lie. Promising all different things, all in exchange for what they want. How do we know you're not any different?
I wasn't a gift to start out. I turned a gift just a couple days ago. Just to show the chief that my way is right. And let's be honest here, it wouldn't be that far of a stretch to just strike me down if I don't intend to keep my promise, isn't it?
The wolf kind of walks forward, like, close to Othello, and, like, sniffs him. And he sees the necklace and says, "Got a present, do you? Well, you must be in favor of them somehow, then."
I have a question to make sure that
That's
you aren't...
hers.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
I have...
We...
Oh, sorry, you're cutting out now for me.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Val.
Okay. I have a question for thee. To make sure thine is not stupid enough to break such a promise, answer a simple riddle.
What is your riddle then, Owl?
If a chicken says all chickens are liars, is the chicken telling the truth?
I would say that's a paradox. Yeah, there is no distinct answer.
There is.
Okay. I'll be right back. Quick moment.
Oh,
Do you want to
okay.
roll something for, like, intelligence?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Othello, make an intelligence roll. How good are you at figuring out riddles? Let's find out.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm pretty good at riddles, but my character may be a bit different.
Oh, but you couldn't figure out the riddle yourself. Can you?
My character has more luck.
Ah, so you can't.
Okay, I'm trying to think here. Are all chickens are liars?
The chicken says all chickens are liars.
I got an 18.
Ah, that's not high enough.
I'm trying to think here. Okay. Chicken says...
Do you give up, or do you just keep trying?
No. Escalon
I'm thinking.
speaks. Escalon speaks. The chicken is lying.
Wrong.
How do you figure?
Let's see if the eye who I asked can answer it first. Does he get... Cedric, do you give up?
I'm thinking. I'm trying to get the answer.
Don't Google it.
I'm not googling. I'm just trying to think. If the chicken says all chickens are liars.
There's a very logical and simple answer.
But the wolf at this, I don't know. The wolf speaks at this point and says, "Enough with your riddles. What are we going to decide?"
I still don't trust their intelligence to keep promises.
Well,
Either
I'm
way-
certainly. Well, I would say I'm certainly intelligent enough to not betray the ancients.
I don't think you understand, mortal. We can't die any longer.
Either way, we're going to have visitors down here at some point. I'd rather get it over with sooner than later.
That's true. The
At this
snake speaks
point-
up.
At this point, Escalon starts to get a bit bothered, actually. You've never quite seen him like this. So, let me get this straight then. If we don't answer this riddle, then you'll just sit idly by and allow for this war to happen? For innocence, for your people to be slaughtered? How does that make you any better? How does that make you any better than those that instigate a war?
You think that tribe is of
Oh,
mine?
hush, Ember Eye.
You do know there's more than one tribe down here, right?
And you think that any of them will be spared?
Mine will live.
None will be spared by their might. You can vouch for this, Eagle. You've seen them.
If anything, smarter people will come.
Why they would worship
Love
people?
us fishing
Why
snake.
they would worship?
I'd rather not see that down.
I cannot understand.
What?
They hold you in such high reverence, and yet you sit here and allow such atrocities to happen. It is within your power to stop them.
I don't think you know what I am.
Coward.
Don't understand us wrong. We are just tired of the constant meddling and constant whining of humans coming to us like children that have a little fight.
I teach people to be able to handle themselves.
Self-sufficiency is a great thing, but there are times when people just need help.
Hell, I even see it on you. You have
The
already
wolf kind of steps.
from my help.
The wolf steps back a bit and looks up at the bird. Well, the eagle says, "Did you see any strange sorts of magics or any energies going on up there?"
Actually, I did, yes. Similar to his, in fact. She gestures towards Escalon. Another of his kind, I reckon. Opening up those pathways as they do. Traversing through there. They came from nowhere and swarmed the others. Took them completely by surprise.
So, your rivals have the aid of Tinge, do they?
That's correct. They're being helped by another shade. One who calls himself Fell.
Shades, is that what you're calling them now?
He
I
called
mean-
himself a shade earlier.
Our name, what we're called, is not important. It's just
Demon,
just
shade.
a label.
I preferred it when they called us demons.
Sounds like we must intervene then. The enemy has a
The
very...
Thunderbird speaks, and it says, "I say we put it to a vote."
I say we help them. I don't want them down here.
In the meantime, the snake is oogling B.
Of course.
Oogling.
I must ask a question, though. Not-
Elena's also oogling B.
I must ask a question, though. Even though you will not all... And I do not mean this only for the humans this time. Do you enjoy hurting people?
Do I enjoy hurting people?
He looks you in the eyes when he says this. Yeah.
Not in the least, Escalon replies.
Is he... okay, the owl's gonna know if he's lying or not, but I don't need to know.
Yeah, the owl... He can tell Escalon sincerely means that. He does not mean to hurt people. To be completely honest with you, I do not wish to hurt people.
I
But
don't want...
Losses are inevitable.
The snake speaks up. I don't mean to intrude, but I think we can settle this one pretty easily.
No,
She
I was
slithers
not
over.
asking just the humans. Do you like hurting people?
The Thunderbird speaks. Only if they deserve it.
I just want to take my naps in silence.
If you do not enjoy this, we should not spread misery.
Just give me a second. She slithers over to B. What is your part in all of this? You. Is she bowing like the rest of them?
No, actually, she's just sort of like standing there and
Who is B?
being.
The snake slithers a little bit so she can look at B really closely. Basically, the snake's eyes are in reaching distance of B. What is your part in this?
My part? B stammers. Well, She pauses for a moment. I came here because I wanted to finally be a part of the tribe. For real. You know, they told me that, something we're all supposed to do. Supposed to come here. So I thought that maybe if I came, I'd finally be considered to be one of them. In their eyes.
And
That's
yet-
why I can't take my naps in silence, because you keep showing up.
What's worse, you never ask for advice. You always just ask for handouts.
B looks to all of you, then what would you do? If you were in our situation, what would you do?
I would take a nap.
I wouldn't be here asking for handouts.
I would simply be hunting as I do. My affairs are different than yours.
I can tell you,
But
I used to be. Well, I wasn't always as I was. I wasn't always a weird. I used to live up there.
and
but-
how long did you live down here now?
It's been many years now. I initially came down here as a researcher, believe it or not. I came down here trying to learn more about people that lived in this place. They always told me up in Sklandr that the weirds were nothing but savages and tribals, but as I studied them, I realized that just wasn't the truth. That there's more to it than just what the officials tell you up there.
Wait, you like knowledge?
I like knowing the truth. Yes. And I tried to spread that truth. I tried to tell them the weirds are not savages, they're people. Like us.
Well,
But-
if you are considered a scholar, Do you trust these humans?
I do, yes, I do. When I tried to tell the truth, when I tried to make people realize what was really going on, they banished me. They took me from my home and silenced me, brought me down here.
And who did that?
The authorities, the military.
Which authorities?
Was the Gagaians.
And which side are you telling us to back?
She hesitates at that. It's hypocritical, I know, but
So you
I'm telling you,
wish to go and help those who would destroy knowledge.
because the other side is much, much worse. The Ferosians, they are cruel. Much, much, much more cruel than the Gagaians.
So you are telling us to fight for the lesser evil without a clear promise of compensation?
Othello, he's the leader of his people now. And he has promised to make things better between us. I mean, he's the best chance we have.
The wolf lets out. Sorry. I was gonna say that the wolf.
And, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think of what to say here. And I trust him. This man, what he's saying is true. He came down here, and the chief, he wanted to kill Othello, but he offered him a choice. He had branded his own granddaughter, and she gestures to Elena. The Gagaians branded his own granddaughter, and he offered Othello a choice. Allow us to brand you, and then we can talk of peace. And Othello, he took that deal. He willingly plunged himself into the ocean. And why would he... There's no reason that somebody would willingly do that if they didn't mean what he was saying.
The snake, which is still pretty close to B, just yawns. I posted a picture just to get a picture in your head. Yawns. B basically able to see into that gaping maw. Well, I want to have my next nap soon, so... And this sounded pretty convincing. What do you guys say?
The wolf just lets out this howl that just echoes across the desert. I can't howl like a wolf. I apologize.
Whoa. There you go.
That works.
Ow.
He says, "Decide already." I say we back them.
The
Indecision
Thunderbird,
leads to hesitation.
the Thunderbird speaks. I agree. We should back them.
I have one
That's-
thing to say, and this is something very important. What on earth could they be doing that makes them worse than the Gagaians you speak of?
I think that maybe one of our other crewmates might be able to tell you about that. He seems to be familiar with them.
Because your kind has been already admitted to of slaving, branding, destroying knowledge, getting rid of those who are disagreeing, and covering up the facts.
He doesn't even have a name, you know,
Who?
as far as I know. He just calls himself the Machine.
It's not the worst name I've heard.
What is a machine?
That's what he calls himself.
It's
He doesn't have a...
It's a
name.
mechanical device that does stuff powered by electricity. I guess they've finally figured out how to do that. If only they weren't so slow, they would have done this ages ago.
Looks
With the wolf.
like I've slept that moment.
You're always sleeping.
That's kind of true.
Then what's the harm in that? Hell, why don't we just sleep and wait for this all to be over with?
Because I've slept long enough.
The Thunderbird speaks. Does the snake have a name, by the way, Cedric?
Name it Yawn.
No, I haven't came up with a name yet.
Okay,
You
fine.
think of something.
Fuck it, we'll just call it Yawn. Why not? Y-A-N. Yawn. There you go. Yawn. The vote is left to you. If we come to a draw, then we will do nothing. If you vote that we should act, then we will act.
I've said what I've wanted to say.
I say let's do this.
Are you sure? I thought you wanted to sleep.
Yes, but I have to put things into perspective, and if these guys really come down here all with their machines and these loud things, I won't be able to sleep either. With them gone, I have at least the promise of being able to sleep more.
I think we're being rash.
Also, some of those tribesmen that come here from time to time bring delicious chickens.
And mighty fine worms, yes.
Then it is settled. We will help you, the Thunderbird says.
I do not think we need to, though.
Where will we meet you the time comes?
Yes, Othello says. Where exactly? You got an idea there, Ascalon?
Fact, I do. We'll start here. As I've explained before, our enemy can traverse through those ways as well, but so can we. And they do not know of this fact. We can catch them off guard and swiftly end this conflict. We'll need other allies, though. But the time will be upon us soon.
Elena just talks to the group and says, why don't we try to go to Sand Falls and get their help?
I think that would be our next step, in fact.
The owl looks and tries to see what their most advanced piece of technology they have is.
It's the ship, by far.
Alright. He's gonna go ahead and look at that and sort of examine it and break it down and say what could be improved easily.
Alright.
Oh, also, as things are decided, the snake yawn gives a big yawn that almost sounds like a roar. Here's a little sound sample for you.
Okay. Does the owl and the wolf have a name?
Yes. Do you want me to say the
Alamadur.
Well, I just want it for record-keeping purposes, really.
Alright.
The wolf's name is Oni.
Okay. I just realized, if we keep on going with this, and the owl has a three-letter name, all of the ancients will have three-letter names.
That would be nice. Also, for everyone else who's voicing an ancient, I would like to suggest a twist to Yawn. She basically sleeps so much because the others know when she gets active for once.
It's pronounced.
She really gets active.
It's pronounced BL.
Yeah.
Like the B sound and the V sound combined.
So we have Yawn, Oni, Dean, and Wir. Oh.
Okay. We're gonna switch scenes here real quick. Since we've done this pretty much over with.
Nice.
I'm gonna do 2 little cutscenes, and then we're gonna end the session there. All right?
Okay. I have a question though.
Yeah. What's up?
What does B think of Elena at this point in time?
What does B think of Elena?
Give me that attraction update.
I will in a second. So we're gonna do 2 little cutscenes here.
Also,
As,
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
How did the tribesmen and B react to to Jan's roar?
They kind of like, oh fuck, at that.
I love
by
this.
the way-
Oh, just so you know, whenever the ancients leave, Oni's probably gonna leave by just like casually just walking on air and just running off in the distance.
Okay. I was actually gonna say you guys were the ones to away, but anyways,
Oh, by the way, I wanted
As-
to tell you the answer to that riddle real quick.
yeah. What is it?
Chickens can't talk.
What the fuck?
Oh, fuck you.
No, no.
No, it's
anyways.
a real riddle.
Oh, fuck you.
That's stupid. Okay.
I have a riddle for you later on.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyways. As you're flying away, the Thunderbird just stares at the ship, and somebody on the other side of the pillar speaks, and this person says, "They really have grown, huh?" The Thunderbird just sort of solemnly replies, "Yes." Another cutscene. Up in Gaius, all around, people are hurrying. They've been building something near the capital. Nobody's really known what it is, but it's a huge project. Lots of labor being brought in on. It's just sort of like a tube pointing down towards the underworld. A man, blonde hair with a stern look about his face. He asks one of the workers near him, "Is it complete?" The worker, he seems sort of like a skittish type. He says, "Yes, sir. It's ready to fire when you give the order." Fire then. And prepare the ships. We'll be heading down there shortly thereafter. He sort of walks off. And as he's walking off, another voice, unseen, sort of disembodied, speaks next to him. "Oh, Arden, you really are merciless, aren't you?" Sort of smile just creeps across his face as he considers the compliment. You're flying back over the mountains, and above you, you just hear this just... and this gigantic flash of light in the sky. It's almost like day for just a split second, and then this just gust of wind just actually knocks your ship straight off of its course a bit, almost causing you to lose control. Your pilot yells out, "What the hell is that?" And you just hear down below something just almost like a sonic boom just impact against the ground. And chunks of earth just get thrown up into the air, and you see down below the village in tatters, almost completely destroyed.
What, the village this came from?
Yes.
Oh no.
Okay, and that's where we're going to end the session.
How did you...
What's the update on that attraction? That attraction stuff.
Oh, what B thinks about you?
Yes.
She's digging it.
Oh no.
Anyway, how did you guys like my portrayal of the owl?
I wouldn't really view it as much of a betrayal as just like, man, I don't want to get fucking involved.
Yeah. I mean, it's a non-combat thing, is the deal. It's the intellectual...
How'd you like my portrayal of the wolf?
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send you a thing about the owl, because I had this planned.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you what it is.
Let's see if I did the same thing. Like, in mind. Because, you know, there has to be at least one detractor anyway.
Okay, I PM'd you the fact about the owl.
I don't know if you noticed it, but the wolf has a very
Oh, that's so cool. Because I was going with, he was like the first demon or whatever.
Actually, that is... 1 second. I'll explain.
Holy shit, am I really close?
You are, kind of.
Holy shit.
Is he the oldest ancient?
Wait,
Oh,
just listen. I'm telling Val this since he's NPCing the character.
Oh,
The rest of you are gonna have to be in
okay.
the fucking dark.
I love this. What I thought up was about the same. Oh, he was bold. Oh, and he was. Oh, that's awesome.
You can just keep that in wraps. I mean, if the character reveals that, if he has...
I think I was trying to hint heavily that he taught man how to be tinged.
Well, he wouldn't be the first one of those, but he would be one of the first, one of the first.
Yeah, but one who taught like man, like the modern version of it. Not the version he uses, the modern version. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
If there's 4 of these things, which elements do they represent?
None necessarily.
I want to say the owl represents wisdom.
What are you talking about? The owl obviously represents darkness!
Well, you know, elemental.
Darkness.
Higher concept-wise.
I gotcha.
Like he's the lead.
Can we say the wolf taught like people how to hunt?
That's definitely a possibility. I mean, if you guys want to flesh these ancients out a bit, we can do that. But real quick, we can end the recording here if you want, by the way. I'm gonna go, and I'll be right back.
Alright.